Hi, thank you for joining us. We are Strange Ways. I'm Harmeet.
I'm Helen. I'm Elena.
And we are currently in residence at New Art Gallery Walsall for 3 months until the 26th of October. And thank you for joining us for this live stream this afternoon. We have been getting quite a few really interesting questions from all you lovely people. So we wanted to do a really quick Q&A, just so you could get into our heads a bit more and find out a little bit about why we make work and who we are. But also, we've got an event coming up on Saturday, a studio event. So this is also a bit of a pre-run to that, just to make sure that technology is going to be on our side. So, who are Strange Ways and what do we do? We create work that is site-specific, playful, intriguing. It's a combination of film, performance, object making. There's a lot of humour involved, lots of stories, and lots of other things as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, a lot of audiences a lot as well. So
and all types of audiences as well, not just traditional arty audiences, non-art audiences too.
Site specificity is probably important. We work in particular places and respond to those spaces. That's probably true.
Yeah.
And as part of this residency, we are hoping to engage with you guys out there, the audience, but not just in terms of coming to have a look at the work we're creating. So as being spectators, we want you to interact with us a little bit more. We want it to be a bit of a joint process. So in terms of we're not just going to create work that you can see, but actually we're kind of co-authoring work together.
Yeah.
We're not sure how that's going to turn out. It's a bit of an experimental process.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of developing a new interactive game called Playback. We can't really tell you much about it.
No, that's a bit top secret at the moment.
Yeah.
It is. Well, we could tell you, but then we'd have to kill you. But we will be revealing details about that. So if you come to our live event at the studio on Saturday, it will be live streamed as well. But if you come to New Art Gallery Walsall on Saturday at 2 o'clock, we're going to reveal a bit more about Playback.
You might get the opportunity to get involved in the game. The idea is it is a game, so there will be players. There could be a winner. We very much hope there will be a winner in this game. But come along on Saturday and find out a little bit more. And we're going to be doing a bit of tea and cake as well. Right?
Yeah.
So something nice to have.
Absolutely. If you're not interested in coming for your own creative pursuits, hopefully we can bribe you to come along with a bit of cake. That's all. So we've had quite a lot of interesting questions coming from you guys, and we thought it was only fair to start answering them. We didn't want to just post up the answers on Facebook or Twitter. We thought it'd be better to do it live. So the first question we received was, is there life after an unsuccessful funding application?
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
If you rely just on funding bids in order to make art, you would never make art because they're so hard to get. Plus, sometimes it's good to work without any funding because you have a lot of freedom that way. Funding does come with a price, definitely.
Yeah, I mean we've had successful and unsuccessful funding bids, but regardless of the outcome of the funding bid, we've gone ahead and done the project and tailored it to whatever budget we have if we haven't been able to succeed with funding. The funding bids we have gone for, good or bad, good outcome or bad outcome, we've always had good feedback, which has been really useful. So it's definitely worth pursuing feedback from funding bids because it can be really useful and help instruct what areas you need to concentrate on, perhaps where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses in the funding bid.
I think as Strange Ways as a collective, we have been successful in getting funding from the Arts Council in the past. I would say probably the amount of projects that we do, 80% of them are not funded by anybody.
Yeah.
We do them just because of our sheer love for what we want to do. We want to create work that's interesting, provocative, amusing, playful, different, and actually, you know what, it's really nice to be paid for what you do, but if it doesn't happen, it's going to go, the show's going to go ahead anyway.
Definitely.
So yeah, there's definitely life after an unsuccessful bid. And sometimes we don't even put a bid in. So life
main focus really, because it's very time consuming and it can take a lot of spontaneity out of the project if you have to explain and try and get funding for it.
Well, I suppose we should say that we're really lucky to be here at New Art Gallery Walsall, and we are being paid to be here as artists, which is quite a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice.
And it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, and beautiful place.
Yeah. There we go. We've said enough lovely things about New Art Gallery. Next question. How do you make the perfect cup of tea? I love this question. I think it's really important. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I know that I'm ready to kill if I don't have a good brew. So for me, a perfect cup of tea is where somebody's left the tea bag in, because that way you get a tea that keeps on giving.
I've got a constant teapot on the go. I've got several teapots. There's a teapot here. It's just constant bottomless pot of tea, strong black tea.
I don't like tea and I don't drink tea, and I'm told at work that my tea is pretty good actually. I think that's making tea for other people, but because I don't drink it, I can never tell whether it's good or bad. So it's Russian roulette every cup, quite literally.
And also, there's this whole tradition around drinking tea. You sit down, you probably have a conversation with somebody. Stories happen, ideas evolve. I think the art of sitting and having a good cuppa, whatever it is, whatever that brew is of choice, I think it lends a hand to things happening and people sharing stuff. Yeah. It's a really important ritual. That's a really good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Third question was really quite unique, so thank you to the person who sent this one in. What does creativity smell like?
Well, I always think if you're working in a studio, there is a certain smell of a studio with paint and fabric and paper and pencils being sharpened. So there is that sort of studio smell. But I mean, I can remember when I first started making art a long time ago, I used to work with lard, so I would have thought that lard was the smell of creativity a few years ago. So I think it changes with what you're working with.
Yeah, we did an event a few years ago and we served cream tea in January, so it smelled of strawberries and cream, which is quite nice.
For me, what does creativity smell like? Actually, I think the best way of answering it is with a completely nonsensical answer. I think creativity smells like unicorns and fairies. It's kind of like the stuff that's unimaginable. And that sounds like really dippy, but actually it's just about saying that you can create stuff and the only limitation is your imagination. Yeah. So creativity is something new, it's known, it makes your eyes stream, it makes those little nostril hairs tingle. Creativity smells good.
It does. It does. Yes.
And then we had, thank you, John, for sending in that question. That's a great question. And then we had a question in from Liz. This is quite a hard question, I think. What I think we stopped again. Okay.